There should be no – even back in Golden State, even if Scott Foster is cloned and they're all doing the games together and Chris Paul suddenly gets signed by the Timberwolves, like even if that happens, it should still be a double-digit win for the T-Wolves in every single game. In fact, as long as Steph Curry doesn't play, the T-Wolves win every game. If Curry's out through Game 4, Game 5 – this isn't happening for the Warriors. It was a great effort in Game 1. I gave them their flowers after Game 1. They lost Steph Curry. They had a big lead, and they were still able to hold on to it. Buddy Hield turned into Superman, and look what happened. The T-Wolves couldn't get their footing, and they wound up losing by more points than when Steph left the game, which really defied logic. And after the game, there was a lot of concern. Is there any at odds between Chris Finch and Ann Edwards, because Finch said I needed Ann Edwards to step up and be a leader. Ann Edwards said, nah, I was fine. I played great defensively. All of a sudden, things were a mess. But with a day off, with a way to recalibrate, the T-Wolves come out and win exactly how I thought they would win, what they should have done in Game 1. It wasn't close. The Warriors don't have the firepower. Tonight, Buddy Hield, a much more pedestrian, a much more Buddy Hield-like 15 points. He had those last 2 games. That was great. The Buddy Hield games. Game 7 and Game 1. Buddy Hield was so good. But this is how I expect things to go. No matter how the officiating goes, no matter what happens in Game 3, every game Steph Curry misses, the T-Wolves should win. They should be in the Western Conference Finals with absolutely zero difficulty.
Game 3, the Timberwolves are 5-point road favorites. So we'll put a pin in that for a second. The over-under on your guy, Little Buddy's points for today, right at 15. Plus or minus the half, depending on which way you got on it. So you got that going for you. We did have the anxious moment, Anthony Edwards, because there'd been a lot of talk of how, except for Steph Curry, it's been a great path and everybody's getting their stuff done. It's like, well, hold my beer. And we had the anxious moment. He goes back, not putting a lot of weight on his leg, and eventually comes back, finishes with 20 points. But you get great work from Alexander Walker off the bench. He finishes with 20. Luka Garza got into the game. It was so laughable at the end, the Iowa favorite.
Luka Doncic got in the game. It was so out of control. Sure.
Wow. Look what you did there.
I'm out of Lukas now.
You just had to take that big swing at him while you're at it, though. But, yeah, I mean, you didn't have that other player step up to give you any kind of offensive juice to give the haymakers back to Minnesota, and that game got out of sorts in short order, right? We're looking at 56-39 at the break, and that was only on the wing and a prayer of a couple of big shots towards the end of shot clocks to make it so. So for the Timberwolves, a game they were able to maybe take a little bit off in the second half, which is key as well, right? Get guys out of harm's way, something Steve Kerr talked about, as well as his comments on Draymond. So all of that, 1-1, we go back to the Bay and see what we can come up with.
So, when I was young, growing up in New York, and Mike Tyson first burst onto the scene right in the mid to late 80s, and all his fights would last like 30, 45 seconds because he would just crush everybody. And it was a fun thing on the local news. They would say, hey, you get like 3 minutes to do sports, right? You get like 3 minutes to do it. It's like, okay, hey, and luckily, because of the way it was, we can bring you the entirety of Mike Tyson's fight last night, right? And they would play 28 seconds and it was over, right? Because at 18 seconds, he knocks the guy out and he wins, right? That was kind of fun. In that vein, we can bring you the entirety of Draymond Green's postgame tonight following the Warriors' loss. Draymond was taken out of the game by Steve Kerr because Steve Kerr didn't want to see him get any more technicals. We'll hear from Steve Kerr in a minute on this. He had a great soundbite postgame. So he's taken out because, hey, we're getting close to potential suspension for Draymond Green. But Draymond was asked, hey, how do you feel about all these technicals and all these flagrants and everything going on getting called against you? And here is Draymond Green's statement.
You look like the angry black man. I'm not an angry black man. I'm a very successful, educated black man with a great family. And I'm great at basketball. I'm great at what I do. The agenda to try to keep making me look like an angry black man is crazy. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous.
Woo! Wow. That is absolutely loaded. Like, that is loaded.
Yeah, his The foul that ended up becoming the flagrant, and they're getting him the drawing his ire to where he was chasing the referee around, was play where he tried to sell that he'd been fouled. The problem is, in his follow through, he gets up around the head and neck area of the defender. So you immediately have other teammates stepping in, and then you have 2 minutes of him berating and all sorts of word combinations we can't possibly try to emulate here on Fox Sports Radio for fear of FCC licensure and our jobs. But suffice to say, he did not say fertilizer. He was saying other things along the way and screaming, and would start heading back towards the bench and then would go back at the official. So it's not anything having, from where I sit, anything having to do with race other than Draymond Green doesn't like officials, and he's getting his 2 cents.
All right, let's hear it one more time, and then we'll break it down again. This is Draymond Green, the entirety of his postgame from just a few moments ago. Play it one more time.
Look like the angry black man. I'm not an angry black man. I'm a very successful, educated black man with a great family. And I'm great at basketball. I'm great at what I do. The agenda to try to keep making me look like an angry black man is crazy. I'm sick of it. It's ridiculous.
Okay, no. Okay, what's ridiculous, Draymond, is you saying this. Okay, no one is questioning how great you are at basketball. No one's questioning, how you are, how successful you are. No one's questioning how great your family is. That's not. The games are broadcast, and we can see replays of what you do and how you hit people and plays you make that have been on the borderline for the better part of your entire career. It's how you make your money. I get it, but don't sit here and tell me that, oh, there's some kind of agenda out there. An agenda would be, hey, we're gonna preemptively whistle you for stuff. No, there's stuff that happens that you do during a game because you get out of control. I'm sorry, but you get out of control. It's how it goes. Does your reputation precede you? Yeah, but that's for any player. It happens, right? No one's questioning anything about that. But I see Draymond Green. There's a guy that's responsible for plays that are on the line, maybe over it, the vast majority of the time. So to sit here and all of a sudden say, I get he's frustrated, he feels like he's being picked on. I'm sorry, don't play that way anymore. But then you lose your effectiveness because playing the way you do is what's giving you the edge. Don't curse at the refs. Don't get in the ref's face when they want to talk to you about different things. And I'm pretty sure it's referees of all different races who he talks to and he gets mad at. So for this, I get that he's mad. I get he's upset. I get he's frustrated. I understand this, but wow, man, you want to take this into a different direction that nobody is talking about. No one is saying anything other than Draymond Green, here's suspensions, here's this. I'll go back to Steve Kerr saying Draymond's got to keep control of himself. I don't think anybody's making anything up about Draymond Green in this situation, but he wants to take this and he's upset, and I get it. And we've seen the strategy in this country the last few years because, hey, no matter what something goes on, if I just come out against it, I will have people having my back on social media, and it becomes a whole he said type situation. So I get it, and I get that he's mad, but dude, come on, man. No one is going to this level and make it a racial thing for you. Come on, that's ridiculous. There's other players that get complained about all the time. Let's go back. Grayson Allen came into the league and he was the dirtiest player in the history of the game, right? Look at the guy was tripping everybody in college, getting to the NBA, tripping. So, yeah, I get that you're mad, but go somewhere different than this. I mean, come on.
Yeah, if you're responding to someone in particular, then you got to call out the name. You got to call out the venue. You got to call, if it's just, the equivalent of the Jason Smith 1-2, I forgot whatever the number was that JJ Redick did, then cite that or don't. But to just throw out a blanket thing that infuses the race part of it, and look, I don't live a life where folks are casting that on me, and I haven't felt that. Maybe Draymond certainly does. He's taken that out here, but how many incidents have we seen on the court? How many technical fouls? How many suspensions, near brawls, near fights? And Steve Kerr, has spoken on it many, many times, and certainly we'll hear from him in a moment. But it's, you play on the edge, and it's part of the greatness, and sometimes you go over it. And in this case, they decided that it was too egregious, and then I don't know, put a stopwatch on it. How long does he stalk the officials screaming before they finally get him to the sideline? We were on air, and we were starting to talk about it. Steph Curry had to come off the bench limp and grab him and pull him back towards the sideline, pull him away from the officials, pull him away from the opponent, pull him back past all the coaches towards the back end of the bench. They basically went to the giant camera that's at as high a point as they possibly could to show, hey, Draymond's getting put all the way back over here because he's been too loud and might get himself thrown out, get that extra technical, get one more towards suspension. It was a well thought out discussion point of where he's at on the continuum. And it had nothing to do with race. Like, here's just fact.
He's playing
There's
against
a lot of fights.
He's playing against other black players. So I don't say he's playing against other black players. So wait, so it's racist that's going on? It's a race thing for you, and you're playing. He's the one making it racial. He's the only one making it racial.
Yeah, it's exasperating because we do have so many issues as a society, as a country, as a global populace. We don't need to invent more.
Nothing is invented. Nothing is. Again, we are a read and react business in sports talk and sports talk radio, right? Hey, lots of ideas we have of things. Hey, we're going to do this, and but we are in a read and react business, and the games happen, and we react to them. Nothing is made up. There's no suddenly, hey, that never happened in the game last night. No, AI put in that you went and grabbed a guy around the neck and knocked him to the ground. No, that doesn't happen. We read and react. It's the playoffs. The highlights are everywhere. Everybody gets to see it. All the games are on television. I'm sorry. It's how it goes.
Yeah, I think when we get down to it, we have in the NBA, they've made up a lot of awards, but at this point, they don't have, what is it? It's the Lady Bing, right? The Sportsmanship Award in hockey. Mm-hmm. We don't have one of those for the NBA, and I got to imagine Draymond ain't winning that one.
I mean, I don't know how you have the career that he has and do what he does and say, yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. I'm the victim. No, not really. No.
In Law and Order, this would be called dissociation.
Not really.